that is just truly amazing. And they were having a grand time, so we have a lot of winners in this school district. We don't have anyone sign up for public participation, so we'll move straight to the action agenda. First, we'll consider items in executive session. Do I have a motion for 2A? Ms. Baumgartner.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve selected employment items as shown in Exhibit A.
Is there a second? Okay. Ms. Hammond seconds it. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, and that passes 7-0. Next, item B. Can I have a motion, please? Mr. Gant?
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that the board deny the request of an employee to be heard by the board based on the board's review of all the information presented by the administration and by the employee to the board.
Okay, is there a second? Mr. Halterwanger seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? That passes 6-1 with Ms. Baumgartner. And number C, 2C. May I have a motion? Mr. White.
Yes, I'd like to move that School District 5 conditionally approve the terms of the revised easement at Chapin High School proposed by the City of Columbia for water main and the right of entry along Chapin High School property for landscaping in the form approved by the City of Columbia Legal Department on May 4th, 2015, with the following condition: that the terms of an Exhibit B proposed by the school district must be incorporated into the final easement document, as such terms may be finalized by board officers with advice of legal counsel, and authorize Dr. Hefner to execute such documents on behalf of the school district once the conditions and exceptions are incorporated.
Thank you. And is there a second? Ms. Baumgartner seconds. Any discussion? There's already been a lot of discussion, questions and answers. All right, all in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, and that passes 7-0. And Mr. White, would you be sure and give the motion to Ms. Stowers? Thank you. And that concludes our motions for the executive session items. Next is number 14, final approval of proposed revisions to board policy KHE. May I have a motion? Mr. Gant.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that we give final approval of the proposed revisions to board policy KHE, political campaign materials distribution / staff participation in political activities, shown in Exhibit C.
Is there a second? Ms. Baumgartner seconds. Any discussion? We've already had a lot of discussion on this. All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, and that passes 7-0. The last item on our action agenda is number 15, first reading approval of revisions to the board policy, organization of instruction. May I have a motion? Mr. Gant.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that we give first reading approval of revisions to board policy IE, organization of instruction, shown in Exhibit D.
Is there a second? Ms. Hammond seconds. Any discussion? Once again, we've already had, oh yes.
It's just a statement.
Sure.
I appreciate the discussions we have had, and I am glad that we've had input from, I know we've spoken to all the principals from those schools in our elementary, and they feel like this is very accepted by parents. So I just wanted to be sure that they have gotten all the questions answered. And we are flexible with this too, Dr. Hefner, and we've changed back. I mean, you know, I know back some days we had 7 and 8 and 9 had actually been middle school. We change it as what our needs are. But this is probably best for developmental ages of kids. So I just wanted to say that as we talked about it, but there might be somebody in the audience that hadn't heard it.
Okay.
So it's better for the kids and
Right.
parents like it.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right. All in favor of approving the board policy IE, organization of instruction, please raise your hand. All opposed? Ms. Hammond, did you have?
That's talking to me.
I know, that's all right. So, any opposed? You're for it. Okay, so that passes 7-0. That concludes our action agenda. Next, we will go to textbook adoptions.